I'm very excited to welcome this guy in. He is someone who joins us on Fridays. He keeps tabs on the obscure movies, the mainstream films, the superhero films, the comic book movies, some weird subtitled film that comes out of, Denmark. He's seen them all. I don't know how he does it. He's also a massive Niners, Giants, and Dubs fan. He comes and goes on a rainbow. How about it for the great Michael Snyder, the culture blaster, as he's known?
Happy
Michael, welcome.
Friday, everybody. Oh, I'm so excited. This weekend is filled with great things to do. And in order to accommodate two of them at the same time, I am attending the Monterey Jazz Fest in leather chaps.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
I want to acknowledge Folsom Street as well. Mark, people say, Michael, do you actually listen to the Mark Thompson show? And in fact, I actually do. And I want to say your delightful interview with Maestro Dick Bright this week was not a classic Mark Thompson time waster. It was,
yes. You liked it?
I liked it, and it reminded me of doing my movie reviews as song parodies with Dick and his band during Alex Bennett's Breakfast with Bennett broadcasts at the Punchline over on Live 105. I would choose a song, write my reviews in lyric form, rhyming, and Dick would do the arrangement for his band. One of my personal favorites was our version of Michael Jackson's Bad, done in a week when there were very few good movies released. So I took down these clunkers, including, by the way, Ironweed with Jack Nicholson and Meryl Streep in song form. I think the last verse was, your brain will fry, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll kiss $10 goodbye. It's bad.
Very nicely done, Michael. Well, it was so much fun. I'm a big Dick Bright fan. It was so much fun to have him on the she and
this is a classic Mark Thompson time waster.
Yeah,
it really wasn't.
No, the idea that that he has this book that's really cool, and Kim's kids actually may look at the book as well, and Dick may be of a help to them. It was good. It was overall big positive. So thank you for
a talented man, a nice man. Glad to know him. Anyway, I never did get to see and review Expendables 4. Which opens today. It's the latest in the B-movie blockbuster franchise featuring most every action star alive today, including Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, Jason Statham, Van Damme, etc. in one or another of the films. But if Expendables 4 is like 1, 2, and 3, it's expendable. I don't feel like.
I see.
Screw your freedom.
Oh yeah, that was the Schwarzenegger comment during COVID.
Screw your freedom.
Yeah. Expendables 4. Wow. The franchise has everybody, doesn't it?
Yeah, didn't get a chance to see it, but, if you've seen the others, I think you've probably seen this. I'm just guessing. Anyway, let's get to the films I did see and want to review. And there are some gems here. Dumb Money is a smart, often funny movie based on the true story of the GameStop stock saga from just a couple years ago in the middle of the COVID pandemic, when a minor stock analyst named Keith Gill used his social media platform as, are you ready, Roaring Kitty, to build a community of amateur investors that would eventually try to take down some of Wall Street's wealthiest venture capitalists. So Paul Dano, who is always good, he was in Little Miss Sunshine. He's just been in a number of films, and he always delivers. And he brings a likable everyman schlub quality to his portrayal of Gil, whose embrace of GameStop, which is, of course, the mall video store chain, as an investment, went counter to all the big money types who wanted to short the stock. So Gil's belief in GameStop became the stock tip that launched 1,000 little portfolios as more and more regular folks bought up shares and built the company's market worth, to the chagrin of the billionaires who thought GameStop was a loser. So in addition to the always excellent Dano, the ensemble cast includes some accomplished and familiar actors as a range of characters, from the one percenters to the most ordinary of minor investors. The folks who are derided as the dumb money by the rich bastards at the top. So-called smart money guys are played by Seth Rogen, Vincent D'Onofrio, Nick Offerman, and Sebastian Stan. America Ferrara is a nurse who throws what money she has into GameStop stock. Pete Davidson is Gil's slacker brother. Shailene Woodley is Gil's wife. And Anthony Ramos, who you may remember from Hamilton, is a disgruntled GameStop employee with aspirations to doing something better. Despite the fictionalization of some parts of the true story, the complexities of the hows and whys of shorting and short squeezing and other financial folderol, we'll call it folderol, all better explained in The Big Short, and a kind of vagueness about the mechanics that led some to ultimately benefit from their GameStop investment. The basic little guy fights back fable at the core of Dumb Money is very gratifying, as is the entertainment factor of the performances, Craig Gillespie's direction, and the dialogue by screenwriters Lauren Shucker-Bloom and Rebecca Angelo. It's a little cluttered in its episodic approach, but Dumb Money generally pays off. It's in theaters this weekend.
Generally pays off. I get it. Folderol, I'll ding. And derided, I will ding.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Yeah, unless you have other things to say about Dumb Money. You liked it.
No, I used to be in mutuals, but I got out and by mutual consent.
You meant mutual consent? That's very funny.
Yeah, John Carney is the Irish filmmaker whose feel-good music-themed movies Once and Sing Street tap into the romance of melody and the melody of romance and temper the bitter with the sweet. And in the case of Once, won a Best Song Oscar and became a hit stage musical. Carney's latest effort, Flora and Son, falls right in line with his earlier work, if not as sort of soaringly romantic as the star-crossed lovers of Once, or as whimsical and adorable as the wannabe teen rock star with a crush in Sing Street. Flora and Son will still win your heart, if you have a heart. If you don't, forget about Flora and Son. Anyway, self-absorbed, self-sabotaging single mother Flora, played by the massively appealing Eve Hewson of Bad Sisters, a miniseries you got to watch if you haven't. She has a tenuous relationship at best with her balky adolescent son, Max, who, by the way, is a petty thief flirting with a stint in juvie. Max's own great passion, other than a hottie in the hood, is creating electronic dance music on his home computer. Making music is kind of like the family business, since Max's father, who is now Flora's wayward ex, Ian, is a mid-level rock musician. So to try and connect with Max, and thinking she could be at least as good as the women she sees on American Idol, Britain's Got Talent, and the rest, Flora decides to take up the guitar and thus meets decidedly unfamous LA singer-songwriter Jeff online when she searches YouTube, basically trying to find someone to give her guitar lessons. So Jeff is played by none other than Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and the character earns his keep by teaching guitar, having failed at the fame game. And despite her frivolous attitude, Flora and Jeff bond on a creative level, and long distance or not, sparks start to fly. Whether or not music can bring Flora and Max together is a whole other thing. Anyway, Hewson and Gordon-Levitt are absolutely charming and do their own singing and playing quite well when it counts. Gordon-Levitt's rom-com bona fides were established opposite Zooey Deschanel in 500 Days of Summer, so he's in his comfort zone here. And meanwhile, Hewson has already shown her serious acting chops in Bad Sisters, and as for her musical skills, she is the daughter of one Bono Hewson, an Irishman of some repute in the rock world.
Wow.
And you, too, would know who I'm talking about, Mark.
I get it. Okay.
Hey, dude, I had no idea who her father was when I was impressed by her performance in Bad Sisters, and now I know. And needless to say, when it comes to music, she's a natural. Jack Rayner from Sing Street and The Good Mother plays Ian, and young Oren Kinlan makes for a very believably angsty Max, Flora and Son is one of the most endearing movies in ages. Looks and sounds like Carney may have composed himself another hit. It's in theaters and will be available on Apple in a week.
Tom is the keeper of the ding. We did ding already, Falderall. You probably heard us ding it, but whoever put it, maybe it was Albert or Kim, we already ding it. But I think you did do something else dingable there. I believe I've lost it now, but I do have a question, follow-up question, and that is how much music is in this movie?
3 or 4 songs, and they're well done. It's not musical in the manner of Once, which is beautiful song after beautiful song. But it is really, again, I got to fall back on the C word, charming. Or is it the CH word? Anyway.
Bona fides is a ding word. Thank you, Tom. That's correct. Okay,
really?
Go ahead.
This is another classic Mark Thompson time waster.
How dare you?
Let's move on, can we? Please?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Move on anytime.
With a title like It Lives Inside, I mean, it has to be a horror movie, right? And it is. Only it also incorporates coming-of-age elements, misfit teen drama, and some cultural representation. In fact, It Lives Inside, this first feature film from Indian-American director and co-screenwriter Bishal Dutta, throws in generational conflict and introduces Hindi folk mythology to put a fresh spin on the concept of a demonic possession that passes from victim to victim. To clarify, by the way, Dutta is not Native American. His roots are in the Indian subcontinent, as are those of his protagonist, Sam, a suburban American teen girl whose parents are on 2 sides of the assimilation spectrum. Mom is a believer in the ways of the old country, while Dad has taken in the American way and taken to it. Sam is trying to fit in, but her friend and fellow Indian American Tamara is sort of an oddball, almost an Indian goth, with the black clothes and the sallow complexion and an empty mason jar that she takes everywhere she goes, which infuriates Sam. But maybe that jar isn't really empty, and maybe uncontrolled negative emotions aren't such a good idea when you might unleash an ancient demon. So soon, Sam is having these freaky, morbid visions and dreams. Could those she cares about all be at risk from something? Or is growing up in the burbs really that hard? Anyway, when you're a kid in an immigration situation and your family comes from overseas, it probably has its share of travails. Although It Lives Inside isn't a game changer in horror, and its frights aren't like pants sweaters, Dutta's dark atmospheric approach and the Hindi ritual and imagery are a nice change up in this familiar genre. It Lives Inside is in theaters.
Wow. So you kind of, it sounds to me like you're maybe around a 7 on that. Am I right on a 10 scale?
A 6 or a 7. I thought, again, I'm loving representation when it's meaningful, valid, and welcome. And in this case, it is, even though we're talking a horror movie.
Yeah. This sounds like a horror movie, The Origin of Evil.
Well, it's not quite what you think. I mean,
or it's a documentary.
No. It's all about Donald Trump. I love a good thriller with corrupt individuals, deception, and cat and mouse games. If you set it in an exotic locale, I'm even more on board. And with those elements on display, the new French movie, The Origin of Evil, reminded me a bit of Patricia Highsmith's similarly twisty-turny novels made into big screen movies, such as The Talented Mr. Ripley or The Two Faces of January. Is The Origin of Evil at that rarefied level? Not really, but damn, I was caught up in this story of a woman who reaches out to rich older man Serge and reveals that she is his long-lost daughter, Stefan, conceived out of wedlock. Meanwhile,
but that doesn't mean that it's a good thing.
I'm betting it's not a good thing, actually.
Meanwhile, the most significant members of Serge's immediate family are a wife with profligate tastes and a daughter who now runs a successful restaurant business with an iron hand, and both would like him out of the way, and they are less than thrilled with the interloper who may very well just be there to get a chunk of the old guy's fortune. If you add to that a pissed-off granddaughter and a suspicious maid, Stefan is up against a quartet of formidable women trying to protect what they believe is theirs. The family lives in an impressive seaside mansion, and Serge insists that his rediscovered offspring spend some time there. Oh, what could possibly go wrong? As secrets are revealed, we begin to see that not everyone is as they initially seem, and something's got to give.
Wow.
You just don't get it.
Do you? I think they all
Not
get
only
it.
does something have to give, something does give. The actors really deliver here, especially Laure Calamy, who would be familiar to viewers of Call My Agent as the sort of hapless Nomi in that terrific TV series that you can catch on Netflix. She plays Stefan. And this is sort of a showcase for her. Although praise is also due Doria Tillier, who got her start mark as Miss Meteo, the chic weather girl on the Canal Plus news magazine Le Grand Journal.
Wow,
And
good
she's
knowledge.
a good actress. Yeah. You would have a lot to talk to Doria about, I think, if you had a chance.
Wow.
Anyway, she plays Serge's ruthless businesswoman daughter. Dominique Blanc as Serge's wife is great. Jacques Weber as the patriarch himself is perfect. There's a bit of Succession here, along with the Highsmith vibe, but the sense of impending danger and the kind of slow burn mysteries that unfold in The Origin of Evil, by the way, written and directed by Sébastien Marnier, were more than enough to make it a diverting 2-hour getaway with subtitles. It is in French, and it's in theaters. The Origin of Evil.
How scary is it, Michael Snyder?
It's not that scary. It's just wonderful tension. You would not be suggested as a viewer of It Lives Inside. On the other hand, as a guy who has a significant other who loves true crime stuff, the criminality of this thing would definitely interest you.
All right. Well, so it sounds to me like I can do The Origin of Evil, which I will. And maybe at the end of 2 hours of reading French subtitles, I'll be able to speak little French.
Or you want to take a hatchet to somebody.
What's a guilty pleasure you have?
Yeah. It Lives Inside is the scary movie, horror movie, but Michael liked that too.
Yeah, I wasn't over the moon, but it was good. It was solid. Let's put it that way.
The one he really liked, Flora and Son, teams Joseph Gordon-Levitt with a musical meetup, sort of, even though they meet over music, might be a better way to put it. The movie isn't a musical. With Joseph Gordon-Levitt, with U2's daughter. With Bono's daughter from U2. Bono. What's her name again?
Eve Hewson, and she's already established herself as a really good actress without any kind of,
having to say that she's.
Kid.
Yeah, I know. I knew that when I said that, even though I said it inartfully, that you would jump on me for saying it.
Right.
She's a talent in her own right. She's a talent in her own right.
And there are good songs, a handful of good songs in it. It's just not a full-blown musical.
Got it. And Dumb Money, he liked that also. Really liked it. It's the story of the pump and dump that GameStop was. And it was sort of a public pump and dump. I'm anxious to see that. All of those films that you've just shared with us are in theaters now?
Yes, and lucky you, Flora and Son comes to Apple TV, I think, in a week.
Great. I do feel lucky. Niners, you were impressed, Michael Snyder, as a giant Niners fan?
Overall, I would say Brock Purdy is the man. People were nitpicking. They're always going to be nitpicking Mr. Irrelevant, the last guy picked in the draft. He was a little off his rhythm in the first quarter, and then he completely found a groove. And boy, speaking of finding stuff, he found Deebo Samuel in the corner of the end zone.
That was incredible. That was so well done. He's really got...
He's a leader. Brock's the guy, and anybody who thinks otherwise is a hater, y'all.
Okay. All right. Michael Snyder joins us on Fridays. He is the culture blaster across media, across the YouTube podcast universe. You can find Michael in increasing numbers of places across all of those different platforms. He comes and goes.
Here I go. I believe it so long.
What was that, Michael? What?
I said, how about go Giants to next season?
I love it. Yeah, go Giants to next season. Michael, please don't speak after the harp is played. Thank you. Yeah.
Better.
That's how we stick the landing around here. Bye, Michael.
Bye, guys.